During her childhood, Maria Petrova claimed she was subjected to various forms of abuse, all at the hands of men. She grew up harboring a deep, burning hatred for them. One night, she took a man's life and liked it. From that day on, she never stopped, eventually becoming known across Russia as the male serial killer. Maria Alexandrovna Petrova was born in 1978 in Moscow, the capital of Russia. Her family was middle class. Her father was a swimming coach. Her mother had no steady job but did odd jobs occasionally, and her brother followed their father's career path. From an early age, Maria showed talent in sports, especially swimming, known for her physical strength and athletic appearance. But behind the facade of an ordinary family was a background of violence and instability. According to Maria's own accounts during later interrogations, her childhood was marked by abuse. Her father, an alcoholic, regularly beat her, her mother, and her brother. In one serious incident, when Maria was only 4 years old, she was hospitalized after a violent beating by her father. Maria said her father was extremely aggressive and her mother did nothing. She also reported that her brother would beat her too, which made her grow up both afraid and full of anger. These abuses left deep scars. Maria was diagnosed at a young age with schizotypal personality disorder, a psychiatric condition characterized by eccentric behavior, difficulty forming social bonds, and in some cases, delusions or paranoia. Despite the diagnosis, her treatment was intermittent, involving stays in psychiatric hospitals starting at age 16. During these hospitalizations, Maria alternated between calm periods, helping her mother at home, and aggressive outbursts. On one occasion, she nearly strangled her mother after an argument about money. On another occasion, she stabbed the family dog 18 times, claiming it didn't protect her from her brother. Maria also gave conflicting accounts of being forced into sexual encounters. In one version, she said she was attacked by a young man during sports training. In another, by a classmate. A third claimed it was her brother and his friends when she was 4 years old. A fourth version pointed to an older teacher at the technical school where she worked. It's hard to verify these stories, as Maria changed details depending on who interviewed her. What's certain is that to her family, Maria was an unstable young woman. She dressed provocatively, disappeared for entire nights, and reacted violently when confronted. One memorable episode was when she placed an ad for intimate services in a newspaper, leaving her mother so distraught she nearly had a heart attack answering a client's call. After finishing high school, Maria tried several careers. She took secretarial courses, worked as a waitress, saleswoman, and modeling instructor, but nothing stuck. Her swimming background led her to a job as a PE teacher at a Moscow school. At work, Maria was seen as responsible and dedicated. Her colleagues described her as committed and respected, but also noted she had peculiar traits. According to co-workers, Maria sometimes showed up to work dressed like a man. Students said she was antisocial, but oddly smiled at strangers on the street, confusing many people. Tensions at work were real. Maria claimed an older PE teacher gave her excessive attention, which made her very uncomfortable. She asked repeatedly for him to be fired, but the requests were denied. This conflict, she said, triggered her childhood trauma and fueled a deep hatred of men. Maria had a habit of running at night through the streets of Zuzino, a residential neighborhood in southern Moscow. What looked like a healthy routine soon turned darker. She started carrying a knife hidden up her sleeve, ready to strike. On the night of March 1, 2002, around 10 p.m., Maria Petrova left work heading home as usual. Hidden in the left sleeve of her coat was a knife. Near the Varshavskaya metro station, at the Shalom Theater stop, she saw a 20-year-old man named Igor Komornikov. He was staggering, clearly drunk. Maria said Igor was trembling and she realized he was intoxicated. According to her, as she passed by, he grabbed her coat and cursed at her. She said she then pulled the knife from her left sleeve and attacked him in the throat, causing a deep cut. After Igor fell, Maria kicked him in the face, saying she did it out of fear he would grab her. The strike was precise and brutal. Igor's jugular vein was severed and he died within minutes. He collapsed on the asphalt and Maria fled. Despite people and cars nearby, no one stopped her. She returned home, washed the knife in her clothes, and carried on as if nothing happened. The police initially treated it as an isolated incident, probably a drunken fight. There were no clues suggesting a woman was involved, so the investigation stalled. But that was just the beginning. In the following weeks, Maria kept running at night, now with a clear goal: to attack men, especially drunk ones. Later that same month, on March 27th, she encountered Nikolai Zhabin, a 50-year-old retiree, on Sivashskaya Street. Without any apparent reason, she approached him and slashed his throat with a knife. Zhabin died on the spot before the ambulance arrived. The similarity between the two murders, precise throat wounds, alerted police to a possible serial killer. However, authorities dismissed the idea that the perpetrator could be a woman, despite witnesses reporting a female figure at the crime scenes. Between late March and mid-April, Maria attacked 3 more men. All survived but suffered serious injuries. Her targets were almost always elderly, intoxicated men she approached between 4 p.m. and 9 p.m. when darkness made identification difficult. Survivors described a young, tall, athletic woman, but the police refused to accept that version. Officers actually believed it was a man dressed as a woman. This inaction let Maria operate for nearly 2 months. The crime spree ended thanks to a lucky break. On April 22nd, a young assistant detective named Maligan was smoking on Bolotnikovskaya Street when he noticed something odd: a woman walking by with white sneakers stained with what looked like fresh blood. Suspicious, he followed her to a building on Kashirsky Proezd and called for backup. The lead was strong enough that police obtained a search warrant for the building. The next day, April 23, 2002, police entered Maria Petrova's apartment and found her washing blood off a knife in the bathroom. She didn't resist arrest and immediately confessed, describing the crimes with impressive detail, no mistakes on dates or locations. Maria admitted to 2 murders, Ihor Komornikov and Nikolai Zhabin, and 3 attempted homicides. She also mentioned other attacks, but lack of evidence or victim identification limited charges. During interrogation, Maria was surprisingly cooperative. She recounted her traumatic childhood, abuse by her father and brother, and 2 alleged cases of forced sexual encounters in adulthood. According to her, her targets, drunken men, reminded her of the abusers from her past. Maria said she couldn't explain why she did it, but whenever she saw a drunk man, something inside her exploded. It was like taking revenge for everything she'd been through. Major Dmitry Mironov from Moscow's Criminal Investigation Department played a crucial role. He took an empathetic approach, gaining Maria's trust and extracting detailed confessions. Dmitry reported that Maria perceived any male attention as harassment, a reflection of her trauma. A psychiatric evaluation at the Serbsky Institute confirmed her schizotypal disorder diagnosis, concluding she lacked full capacity to understand the gravity of her actions. This sparked fears she'd be declared not criminally responsible and sent for compulsory treatment instead of prison. In 2003, the Russian Supreme Court ruled Maria Petrova legally insane. Instead of prison, she was committed to a maximum security psychiatric hospital for compulsory treatment. The decision outraged victims' families who demanded imprisonment. Since then, Maria has been transferred through several psychiatric institutions, including the infamous Kazanka and more recently Psychiatric Hospital No. 5 in Chekhov near Moscow. Rumors about her possible release began circulating in 2013, with the media warning that if deemed cured, Maria could be freed under medical supervision. However, according to the latest reports, she remains institutionalized, exhibiting aggressive behavior, fighting with staff, and attempting escapes. Major Dmitry Mironov continued visiting Maria. He saw her as a complex person with a deep inner world, but scarred by traumas that led to extreme violence. Maria Petrova's case sparked major attention in Russia, earning her the nickname the Zuzino Maniac. Her story parallels that of Eileen Wuornos, the American serial killer who also claimed revenge against men for past abuse. Both share childhood trauma and psychiatric diagnoses, but while Wuornos was executed, Maria was institutionalized. Currently, Maria Petrova is confined in a psychiatric facility undisclosed by sources.